Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it very, very much. Always glad to bring in people that are working in the community, making the community better. It's really nice to have Billy Babin Richard with us, right? Want to make sure that you're identified as such, Executive Director of Keep Terrible and Beautiful. And it's really nice to see that we have these local events and things that happen, and we're also joining some of these national events that go on. So let's talk a little bit about the event itself.
So America Recycles Day is a national day put on by Keep America Beautiful.
Right.
As the local affiliate here in Terrebonne Parish, Keep Terrebonne Beautiful is going to put on an event on November 4th, this coming Saturday,
right,
from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Folklife Museum in downtown Houma, right by the courthouse.
So right there by the courthouse. And that event, what are the times for it?
9 to 12.
9 to 12. Okay,
yes.
You mentioned that.
And we'll be collecting electronics that will go be picked up by corporate recycling out of Baton Rouge.
Oh, wow.
They clean the electronics and everything like that, so it's all safe.
Okay.
And then what they do is if it's able to be kind of restored,
right,
they have a little store that they sell like the electronics in. If not, then they send it off to the correct places to be recycled.
So we're talking about old computers, laptops, gaming consoles, any other electronics that you don't need. And so what a great idea, by the way. And so for me, my phone just decided to stop working last week. And I'm just going to go and see what I can kind of get off of it. And whatever I can't, I'm going to get to go donate.
Yep.
So very cool. So I'm going to at least do that. We got a couple monitors I'm going to bring. And so I'm doing the list in my head. So I'm excited about this. 9 to 12. And it's right there, right near the courthouse. And say the name of the building.
The Folklife Cultural Center.
Okay, right. Folklife Cultural Center.
317 Good Street.
317 Good. Very good.
So, yeah. So not only are we going to be recycling electronics, we'll also have secure shredding out there. So any old documents that you need shredded that's collecting dust in your closets, bring that down. We'll get them shredded on site for you guys.
Okay.
We're also beginning collecting clothes or anything, and that will be donated to the Colonel's Closet at Nichols.
Oh, very cool.
And the Colonel's Closet is a free closet for students to go shop in. They can go, if they need anything, they can go on campus and look through the closet.
And you know how cool that is that y'all really partner with these different agencies. I love getting this company out of Baton Rouge to be able to kind of clean all that stuff and take care of it and recycle it. I love the idea that if you have shredding that needs to be done. Oh, by the way, you may see me for 3 hours on Saturday because my wife and I finally, and this is one of those things that leads right into the other. A lot of people during Ida lost stuff.
Right.
And, we lost our file cabinet. And in there had a lot of our older documents that we need to get rid of. We need to shred. And so I'm going to come with boxes of stuff to shred. I love this idea about the clothing drive because, quite frankly, some of our young people, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, those people that were living at home who maybe had a great deal of damage and lost a lot, I love the fact that we're going to help those people.
Right. And that's how the Colonel Closet got started through Ida. And
I thought I'd remembered reading that.
And so we just love partnering with organizations that, are, reuse, reduce kind of minded.
Right. Let's talk about what else.
We're also collecting Mardi Gras beads.
Right.
Why go buy more Mardi Gras beads when we can, we have a couple of people in the area that are going to use them again.
Right.
And then
recycle those.
We're also going to, pick up your aluminum cans, so bring it on by.
Wow. You guys are going to get sick of me, I promise you. And so my parents are so very, very good at recycling. They taught us that. But I will tell you, my friends call my wife and I recycle Nazis. We recycle everything. And don't dare put something in my garbage can that we can recycle.
Right.
And so we wash out every can that comes through our house. My wife, she goes in and empties out her K-Pods. It takes her hours to do because they build up, of course.
Of course.
But I don't help her with that because I don't drink coffee. But it's just one of those things, and I don't have a problem being called a recycle Nazi at all.
No.
Because quite frankly, I'm taking care of our environment, right?
And the life of an aluminum can be recycled multiple times. And so it's just amazing how many times it can be recycled and then it doesn't take more than a week for it to be from the recycle bin to back on a shelf.
Wow. That's a 7-day turnaround.
Right.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just think people don't always know those kinds of things. So, Jay, put that flyer up one more time. I want people to be able to know what they can do and what they can expect. 9 to 12, Saturday, November the 4th. We are trying to keep Terrebonne beautiful, and we're doing it through America Recycles Day community event taking place. Give that address again.
317 Good Street.
Good Street, right there, downtown. Very glad that y'all were able to do that and partner with them. And kind of want to recap for you again. You can bring electronic recycling devices that are they're going to go to computers, laptops, gaming consoles, or other electronics that you don't need. Bring them to the event. They're going to get cleaned out by Capital Area Corporate Recycling in Baton Rouge, a nonprofit trying to help out. Secure shredding and recycling, those old things that you don't need, that you don't want to throw away. We're all very concerned and conscious about people taking or stealing stuff. Bring clothes for the clothing drive that's going to go to the Colonel Closet. Great concept for them to be able to partner with Nichols to be able to provide those things. And then Mardi Gras beads and aluminum cans also going to be recycled there. We never want anything to go through waste. And what I learned today is the reason I'm a recycle Nazi, and I will say it over and over again, if we can get a can from my house to be recycled and back out in 7 days, then I'm absolutely going to do that every day, all day to do that. And I appreciate it. So if you wouldn't mind, Billy, stick around with us again. I want to talk a little bit more about all the things you guys do in the community with the stuff that we do to keep our area beautiful. All right, guys, we are going to take a short break. Billy's going to stick with us. We ask you to do the same. Come on back and stay with us, really, the ones you know, here at HTV. We'll be right back with a little bit more Bayou time. Don't go anywhere.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you are joining us. We appreciate it. Very glad to have with us Miss Billy Babin Richard, Executive Director of Keep Terrebonne Beautiful. And look, you guys do stuff all year long. I know we have this event coming up, but this whole idea about keeping our area beautiful, especially Terrebonne Parish, is something that y'all are very dedicated and passionate about. Yes,
we've been around since the early 2000s, and our main goal is to just educate and people on, why is it important to recycle, prevent litter, and beautify our parish. We want people to enjoy where they live, and if it's dirty, then no one's going to enjoy it here.
Right. And we want to make it attractive, right? We want people to come into our area. One of those things, I was talking to a friend of mine about this just yesterday, about that we need to make this area very attractive for anybody to want to come visit, for the tourism that creates and helps, but also because it's a great place to live. And if it's beautiful here, then people are going to want to. I love the work and efforts that we've done cleaning up the bayous and doing some of those things, because we've got so many waterways that's one of those things.
And that's why we get out there and we have our cleanups. In March, we do our cleanup in Dulag. In April, we'll have our Pirates and Boots Festival. And then in November is when we celebrate America's Recycle Day. And hopefully, we're hoping to have the greatest American cleanup, partnering with Keep America Beautiful, and just make it bigger and better than it has been before.
Yeah, and so we're always looking for volunteers, right?
Right.
Always looking for people to kind of help us with these different community events.
And I think it takes the volunteers seeing and doing and picking up after other people, and then they take it and, tell people not to litter. And And that's what we do is we try to educate on the importance of, why we shouldn't litter. Don't throw your wrappers out of your car windows. Make sure if you're carrying loads in your vehicle beds to, tie it down, or, when you're fishing, have a bucket dedicated to the trash with a cover. Throw your trash in there while you're out on the waterways enjoying it.
And here's the thing that always amazes me. If you're going to go and bring your stuff to a recycling center, make sure that when you have it in transport, that it's not physically littering while you're going to the recycling center.
Right.
Like, let's just have that purpose in mind. I'm one of those people that moved from a truck to an SUV. Well, I made sure that my SUV was big enough that it would fit all of the containers that I, of course, as the recycle Nazi, am recycling. But it's a Saturday ritual for me.
You almost have to, sometimes, we're not fortunate to have curbside recycling in our parish.
Right.
But, I do see it coming. It's not a far distance dream.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we do have areas around the parish where you can go drop off your recycling, and you just have to make it a habit of doing. You have to make it a conscious effort.
And so I always find myself picking up around the recycling bins. And so it's just one of those things, though. It's like it's not a pet peeve of mine, but I think it's a responsibility.
Right.
And so I would love for everybody to really embrace these options. And we have this event that we were able to talk about last segment that it makes it easier for people to really bring their old electronics, bring your shred stuff, bring your clothes for clothing drive, all those things that we can help. Go ahead.
Right. And, it takes a special person, and we're all special people, but we also have to take pride in our, community.
Yeah.
We have to clean up our yards and keep our areas nice and tidy, and, leave our area cleaner than we found it. I grew up being a Girl Scout, and that was always taught to me. We go camping, you always leave your area cleaner than where you found it. Leave no trace. And,
right.
When we're out on the waters fishing or out in the community, in the parks, leave no trace that we were there, just so it's cleaner for the next person to come along.
Yeah, and just the simplicity, and I love the education that you provided for me today, the simplicity of knowing that an aluminum can be recycled in 7 days. Like, that's remarkable to me. I'm going to share that with everybody I know. Because aluminum cans are one of those things that are very difficult to our environment.
It is.
But if we recycle them, then we're actually helping our community in so many different ways.
And if you take them to the recycle place, you can make a little money yourself too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's always that function of who doesn't want to make a little extra money if they can. So let's go through some of those events that you mentioned. I'm excited about this one in November.
Yes.
Right, November the 4th.
November 4th, our America's Recycle Day event. In March, we'll do our white boot cleanup in Dulac. But our plan is to have several other cleanups throughout the year. Good. So follow our Facebook.
Oh, let's share that, by the way, the Facebook page.
Yeah, so we're Keep Terrebonne Beautiful on Facebook, and Keep Terrebonne Beautiful 1 on Instagram.
Okay. Just got to add a 1 for Instagram.
I don't know why we couldn't get the regular one.
It's okay. Just add a 1. You're okay.
And so we post all of our events on there, and follow our website. We're keepterrebonnebeautiful.org. We post all of our stuff on our website too. And then through volunteering, you can subscribe to our newsletter, which will send out kind of tips and tricks on how to stay, I just sent one out about how to recycle during Halloween and how to stay litter-free during Halloween.
What a great idea.
So I do try to reach out and touch base with our volunteers.
What an idea. This is something, I wonder if y'all do this for a tip. For the whomever is bringing the kids out for trick-or-treating, have a bag in addition to the bag that they get with candy, have a little bag for the trash.
Yep.
Is that one of the tips?
Yep, it was.
It's just an idea. I'm just thinking about all these people because we had a wonderful time yesterday. My wife loves Halloween, loves to hand out candy, just loves to see the kids, dresses up the dogs, something new every year. But when they come out, I'm just thinking, let's have a place for those candy wrappers. I'm giving out candy, and I want to make sure that the wrappers, I may give out a recyclable bag with that next. That's what I'm going to do. And so you've inspired me.
Yep. You can
a few seconds left. Go ahead.
You can also get secondhand costumes, reuse a costume.
Recycle those.
There's many ways to do it.
I love it. Billy, thank you so much for joining us and educating us today in ways to keep our Terrebonne beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right. That'll do it for us with this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more local programming right here on HTV.